Okay, so like I said, we're going to look at this. We're going to start and we're just going to look at the lateral foreleg. And we're only going to focus on the muscles that we are required to know for this quiz. Okay. So first up, we're going to see this muscle. I'm going to kind of outline the boundaries of it here. Okay, we see this muscle. My probe is kind of tucking under right now. This is the lateral head. It's the lateral head of triceps. Okay. And you can see it connects at the elbow. Okay. And kind of posterior to that, we see long head of triceps. So both of these are heads of the triceps, right? And they are going to be extensors. They're going to be extensors of the elbow. When they contract, the elbow would straighten, right? Okay. All right. Now down in the what would be equivalent to our forearm. Okay, what's equivalent to our forearm? That's too bright, huh? If we look, we see this largish muscle. It's sort of triangular in shape, and it's located on the anterior surface of the lateral foreleg. This is brachioradialis. Okay, brachioradialis is going to be a flexor of the forearm. I can't really make the elbow bend because these muscles are under tremendous tension. But this would help bend the elbow or flex the elbow. Brachioradialis is a bit unique in its positioning. It's positioned distal to the joint that it acts upon, which is kind of an interesting thing. Okay. So if we look down here at the group of 4, and I'm assuming you can see that there are 4. There's 1, 2, and I'm gonna the blade on my scalpel so we can get 4 real clear. Kind of cheap. What's that? Yeah, it's recorded. So we see that there's 1, 2, 3, right? 3, 4. Okay. Pull down on that now. Get a little better focus out of it. Okay. So when we look at these, the way I always say to remember is to remember sort of on the elbow side, of the limb forward. And that's useful because we can remember either side that way and they'll be in the same order. So if I look at this muscle, okay, this muscle right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there's 4. This one is extensor carpi ulnaris. It's located along the ulna. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2 is extensor digitorum lateralis. Okay. So extensor carpi means extensor of the wrist. Extensor digitorum means extensor of the digits or toes. Okay. Then the next over is extensor digitorum communis. Again, it's an extensor of the digits, but it would also extend the wrist. These are all extensors of the wrist. Okay. And the last one over here is extensor carpi radialis. Okay. So we have extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digitorum communis, or lateralis, extensor digitorum communis, extensor carpi radialis. Okay. And those are the 4 that you need to know in the lateral view, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to orient this pig. Right now the head's to the left. I'm going to spin it so the head is toward the top of the screen just for to make life a little easier for me. I'm going to grab some stuff to tie it down so I can Manage to do all I need to do. Got some rubber bands here. That should do the trick. Okay. All right. So looking at the medial view, and I'm going to leave the light on there. I think it makes it a little easier to see this, especially after I clean this and blot this. Yeah, okay. So in the medial view, a couple of things. First, we've cut a muscle, and you can see the remains of that cut here and here. The muscle that we've cut is pectoralis, okay? Pectoralis is going to both pull the foreleg toward the midline, but it's also going to, when it contracts, pull the foreleg toward the head. Okay, so when pectoralis contracts in this pig, it's going to pull the foreleg toward the head. Okay. All right, looking down in here, we can see a variety of vessels. We can see brachial arteries, and we can see brachial nerves here, but that's not really the focus of our stuff right now. We see this large muscle. Okay, this large muscle is biceps brachii. Okay, biceps brachii. That's if you flex your bicep, that's the muscle we're looking at. Now down in here, this here is long head of triceps again. We can see long head of triceps in both of these views, in lateral and in medial view. But what I want to draw your attention to, and I'm going to kind of cheat here and just kind of use my scalpel to separate these muscles. There's a boundary between these two muscles right here, between the long head of triceps. Okay, this is long head. And right over here, this right there, that's medial head of triceps. So we got long head and we got medial head. Okay. And if I look, this muscle that goes up into the armpit here, you can see it kind of stretching as the foreleg pulls forward. You can see it really stretching. This muscle right here, this is latissimus dorsi, and it extends down the side and up onto the back. Okay. Then if we kind of rotate this a bit, and I'm going to try to get the camera down in here to give you a little better view. Just try to get it to adjust to the brightness of the light. Yeah, I just have to kill that. Anyway, when we look at the, that's too bright, huh? Lateral foreleg. And for this, I'm going to undo the rubber band. When we look at the lateral foreleg, we see those 1, 2, 3 muscles, 4 muscles. In the medial foreleg, we're going to see that there's 3. Okay. How's the view there? Is that too bright? I think we can see them. All right. So the first one, again, is named by its proximity to the ulna. Okay. So it's going to be an ulnaris, and it is a flexor. It is a flexor of the wrist. So it's going to be flexor carpi. Okay. Muscles on the medial side of the wrist are going to be flexors. So we got flexor carpi ulnaris, and it's sort of a large one. Let me back this up a bit so you can see it a little better. It's sort of a large muscle there. Okay. And if I pull on this, if I tug on it, you can see it literally is bending the wrist. Okay. You can see how it's bending the wrist. Okay. So this is flexor carpi ulnaris. Then we have this one kind of in between. And I think you can see the boundaries pretty clearly on that muscle. Okay. That is palmaris longus. Palmaris longus. Okay. Try to adjust it a little better so we can see it just a little better. Palmaris longus. And then we have flexor digitorum profundus. And I'm going to kill that light and try to do that again with a little higher contrast. So we have flexor carpi ulnaris. Not sure why it's not focusing. Okay, we got flexor carpi ulnaris. Okay. Then we got palmaris longus. And then we got flexor digitorum profundus. Okay. So there's 3 distinct muscles in that group of flexors. Okay. Again, give that a quick blot. And run through those again. We got flexor carpi ulnaris, palmaris longus, flexor digitorum profundus. And again, that's the elbow right there where I'm pointing with my forceps. We could also see brachioradialis in this view, but I won't ask it in this view. You can see it right here. That's brachioradialis, biceps brachii, medial head of triceps, long head of triceps, latissimus dorsi. Pec major is cut, or just pectoralis is cut because we cut both major and minor. Any questions?